Thank you very much, Dr. Blade, for that wonderful presentation. It really provided a great high-level overview of everything that's going on. So thank you very much. Colleagues, that brings us to the end of the second session, which was the technical session. We now move to the questions and answers side. We've received some questions, and I'm just going to review those questions and pass them to the panel. They may be directed to an individual or to the panel more broadly. If you feel comfortable, you may just want to jump in and answer those. Our first questions have come from across Africa and other parts of Asia in relation to do we provide certificates for attendance on these courses? It's something we can certainly look into, and we've noted your contact details, and we'll certainly get back to you in relation to that. I think we'll be delighted to. The first question from the floor, how do the different South-South research initiatives relate with private sector finance? So just repeating, how do different South-South research initiatives relate with private sector finance? Maybe Dr. Blade or others, if you'd be interested.
I'd be happy to start out. Certainly here in India, what we are doing within ICRISAT is working with private seed companies, particularly in our pearl millet and millet breeding programs. We provide that breeding material to all partners, whether public or private. The private company that material into their breeding programs through integration and other activities. If I think about the private sector engagement when it comes to value addition, I've mentioned about the fact that startup companies are involved, but others are also very interested. Multinational companies are interested in how they can deploy, in this case, millets or sorghums, or even some of the other flowers that come from our pulse crops as well. So there certainly is an appetite to work with the private sector, but I would leave that open to others who may want to comment.
Thank you very much, Dr. Blade. Fantastic. We have another question that's come in to Dr. Sankalp. Dr. Sankalp, Seeds Without Borders is a wonderful idea, but custodians of biodiversity, the farmers in the South who are the custodians, are not getting promised access and benefits sharing in international treaties. Will international research institutes promise to take care of this issue? Over to you, please, Dr. Sankalp.
Thank you for the question. And at the onset, I must be very honest with you. I think some of these real challenges are well acknowledged, and I think it's a collective responsibility for us to really ensure that the larger livelihood-related socioeconomic benefits for the farmers can be trickling down to them. But I think the intention of the Seeds Without Borders is to ensure that for the regions where the investments in the breeding efforts are not possible, or regions which urgently require some of the interventions on the nutrition, or any other challenging, environments or pressing issues they face, have quick access to the already developed germplasm that's out there. But I think your sentiments acknowledged, but I think it's our collective responsibility, and we'll continue to strive for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. The next question has come in. Good morning from Africa. Great information. The Global South produces 80% of global food. Farmers are custodians that need employment. How can funding be made available to realize this potential? Maybe I could open up to the floor. Does anyone would like to jump in on that?
Well, Ramon, if I could, and again, I would welcome others to participate. Certainly a number of our organizations, it's true of ICRISAT that we are also very involved with developing the information to drive policy. Clearly, some of these decisions need to be guided by governments, and I know when our Director General, when I speak to ministers across both Africa, where we have 8 countries where we have research stations in addition to our work here in South Asia, it is very much about ensuring that leaders, decision makers, influencers understand the value of agriculture and food, that it can be an engine of economic development. So although we may not necessarily be able to create that policy ourselves, I think we can provide much of the evidence to assist policymakers in making the kinds of decisions around employment, economic opportunity, and the things that the questioner has asked about. But perhaps others would like to weigh in.
Great, thank you. I think Dr. Campos would like to provide some comments. Please, Dr. Campos.
Yes, briefly, and building on what Stan shared, I think that part of the solution to the issue of funding, is about exactly better informed policymakers, but also it's about working together so that the funding is not just keep coming from the usual funders, but rather from the regional banks. For instance, the African Development Bank, the Asian Development Bank, in many countries, the Islamic Development Bank. I believe that, going forward, particularly for the South-South, and I think that part of our value proposition is showing that we're working together, that we're not focused only on a given crop, on a given country, that really we're bringing a system perspective in order to not only improve the livelihoods of farmers and the quality of life, but also I think that part of the discussion has to be about how, in addition to just climate resilience and nutrition security, we're able to increase the income of farmers. I believe that as we're able to pull together and we again involve regional development banks into conversation, we're going to be able together just to bring the funding available to deliver on this promise. Over and thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Campos, for those interventions. Maybe I can just go to the next question that's come in. In the current situation, farmers are interested in cultivating drought-tolerant paddy, I'm assuming rice. They're not getting the variety. It would be good if they tried to provide it to them. So I'll take that as a statement, maybe to Dr. Borsali, and maybe you have an opportunity to respond.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can take that as a... Yeah.
Certainly, I think as you have seen that we are doubling down on drought, and not just the drought as an emerging threat and problem, but we're also ensuring that the market segments that we are currently focusing on, we have the national partnerships really empowered to really have the best genetics that we have really provided or we are providing made available in the quickest possible time. So I think that's very much on our radar. And so I think the solutions are really on their way, even through DSR, some of the DSR technology, mainstream, some of the drought work that we have integrated. So that's on the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Borsali. Another question's come in. Does ICRISAT have career opportunities for young upcoming researchers? And how can one explore that? Absolutely. And I would encourage the questioner to please contact ICRISAT via email, and we will respond with those details. Questions come in. Cattle-based agriculture is the best system. Synchronizing cattle and soil and dryland agriculture improves resistance and vitamins in the food. Input cost is very less with cattle dung and urine. So we'll take that as a statement as well. Thank you for that. Due to low rainfall, can ICRISAT conduct drought-tolerant new paddy trial varieties for demonstrations in Ganjam district of Odisha? Maybe Dr. Blade?
Yes, of course. We work very closely with IRRI, who has such a deep experience when it comes to rice. I would say that we are very active in Odisha, but we are thinking and how we can support the government of Odisha and producers in Odisha with respect to the diversification of crops, whether there are new opportunities for going beyond paddy rice, in particular ecosystems. So maybe I'll leave to Sankalp with respect to planting material when it comes to rice, but we are very engaged with the government of Odisha around the way that we can diversify cropping systems.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Blade.
I'll just second
Dr.
that.
Borsali?
I'll just
Yep.
second that. I think there are numerous initiatives in Odisha together with ICRISAT and the government of Odisha, where various technologies and including varieties are being made available. So I'll just second that. Thank you.
Fantastic. And in very much the same vein, another question's come through. What's the future planning for ICRISAT and IRRI for soil improvement through synthetic fertilizer and nutrient biofortification for cereals and pulses? And perhaps Dr. Saharawat would like to come in on that as too. Thank you.
Sorry, can you repeat the question, because I thought it's for IRRI.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's the future planning from ICRISAT and IRRI for soil improvement through synthetic fertilizer and nutrient biofortification for cereals and pulses.
So maybe on the new cereal fortification, maybe Edie or Ikriset can respond, but on the synthetic fertilizers, as I shared in my presentation too, the approach is now a transition towards more of a mix of organic plus inorganic fertilizers so that we can sustain the soil health as well as improve the microbial content in the soil.
And maybe I would just add, since we've been discussing Odisha, ICRISAT, working with the government of Odisha around the livelihoods program, we're very involved with working with groups for the biocomposting of water hyacinth, who many of you know is an invasive weed, producing a new biofertilizer that then is being able to be sold by community groups, young people and others. So there are initiatives around unique ways of creating new fertility products for farmers.
Thank you. Just moving to the next question, if there's no more input. There's a huge disparity with respect to technology push versus technology pull. Keeping this in mind, what level of efforts do all research organizations need to put in place to come up with demand-driven technologies? Maybe I can open up to the floor, to the panel.
Sure. If I can just come in, if that's
Sure,
okay.
please.
So I think, it's a very good observation, very realistic one. If you look at some of the interventions from the CGIAR lens, and I think if you look at the push that we are currently giving to the system to include more intentional public and private partnerships, it will always be critical for us to look at some of the overarching challenges together. So I think the formalization of that will continue to allow us to focus on maybe fewer markets, fewer places where the system could really give the advantage, and we could work together and eventually find out a better system where the market demand across the system equally benefits all the interventions. But again, it's a long answer to your question. Definitely the push and pull for technology is always going to be a struggle and a delicate balance to achieve. Thank you.
Fantastic. Colleagues, we'll probably go through a few more questions before coming to a close. Next one's come in. Dry lands are challenging environments politically and climatically. Does the panel have any good examples of southern countries sharing agricultural technology with other southern countries? Dr. Bossale, please.
Yes, please, Dr. Bossale.
So I think we have a number of examples, not just at IRRI, but I'm sure everyone has that. We are looking at a lot of innovations in the DSR progress that we have achieved in Vietnam, and that's being currently thought through to utilize in the Philippines, whether that's the effective DSR management as a crop or the straw management and other solutions we have. And the country's agricultural leaderships are also interacting at that. So facilitating those engagements could be a primary role for CGIAR as well. So that interaction is happening. I'll stop there. Thank you.
Fantastic. Just while we have you, Dr. Bossale, we have another question directed to IRRI. Do you have non-paddy rice varieties suited for dryland production in Africa?
Yes, we actively breed in Eastern Sub-Saharan Africa. On the eastern side and on the western side, we work very closely with Africa rice. So we do have a range of varieties suited to the various agro-climatic regions. Thank you, in Africa.
Fantastic, thank you. A few more questions. Beside climate resilience, how can biotic tolerance like viruses be tackled on different crops with new technologies? Again, that's open to the floor. If anybody would like to jump in.
Well, I think, Hugo, you would be a fantastic person for this, but of course, this is the classic opportunity right back to the days of Norman Borlaug around where breeding can really provide all kinds of interesting solutions with respect to bringing both abiotic and biotic constraints into place by incorporating these new resistance or tolerance genes within these lines. But Hugo, I'd welcome you to give an observation.
Dr. Campos, I believe you're muted. Please, if you just...
I was muted. Sorry about that. Yes. So building on what Stan shared, I believe that, the most effective way to keep addressing either biotic or biotic stress is plant breeding. But I think that what we need to do going forward is find a way to do it faster. And as the example from Erie I have shown already, or some examples from Nicosat, and as I referred to with my 4 stories about breeding, we have the tools and we know how to do it faster. And I believe that actually in some cases we can actually move into a kind of a preemptive breeding where instead of waiting, for instance, for a new or from a previous biotic stress becoming more pressing or more damaging on the crops, I think that we know how to do it in a more preemptive way, so that, I mean, when that threat it becomes a reality, we can really deploy varieties faster and cheaper and in more affordable way. And on my final point, I believe that in many cases, and I agree with what Thankal mentioned during his presentation, at the CGIAR, frankly, in some cases or in many cases, we're not the best at the final mile. That's where we need to close very, very closely with the national programs, and in many cases with NGOs. They know the district far better than we do, and I believe that, I mean, while strengthening that perspective, again, working closer with the national program and with local NGOs, we will be able just to bring and to deliver those breeding innovations, not only for biotic and abiotic stress, but also for biofortified traits, not only much quicker, but also cheaper to the farmers and their families. Over and thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Campos. Colleagues, we're just going to take just a couple of comments. We've had quite a few comments coming in saying what a wonderful, uplifting session, so we very much appreciate that. Can we get all the PowerPoints? And the Secretariat who organized this will certainly arrange those to be distributed. And for all the other questions that have come in, we've certainly taken note of those, and we will be responding in writing in the interests of keeping time. With that, colleagues, I'd like to thank you very, very much for your participation. I would like to hand over for our vote of thanks to Mr. Sanjay Agarwal, who's the Assistant Director General of ICRISAT, for the vote of thanks and any closing comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raman. Thank you, Raman. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's a true honor to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of ICRISAT at this special webinar celebrating the United Nations Day for South-South Cooperation 2025. Today's event was a powerful reflection of global solidarity, with the speaker joining us from Philippines, India, Lebanon, Italy, France, Mexico, and Peru. We embodied the spirit of this year's theme, New Opportunities and Innovation through South-South and Triangular Cooperation. I extend heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Himanshu Pathak, DG ICRISAT, for his inspiring leadership, which has been instrumental for organizing the event. We are also thankful to Professor Sachin Kumar Sharma and Dr. Alay Abuza for their valuable insights. We are honored to have recorded messages from global leaders, including Dr. Dongyu, DG FAO, Dr. Elofi, EMD CGR, Dr. Jart, Secretary DARE and DG ICAR, Dr. Pinto, DG IRI, and Dr. Bram, DG CIMMYT. Your words reaffirm our shared commitment to exact transformation in Global South. To our technical session speakers, Dr. Devendra Kumar Yadav, Dr. Hugo Campos, Dr. Bekara Lopez, Dr. Sankalp Bhosle, Dr. Yashpal Sarawat, and Dr. Stanford Blade, thank you for sharing cutting-edge research and transform technologies that hold immense promise for millions across the Global South. A special thanks to Raman for moderating with such a finish, valuable guidance of Dr. Stanford Blade for this session, and our dedicated team of ICRISAT, Kuldeep, Nilesh, Suryamani, Manish, Shravanti, Praveen, Farid, and Parkvi, and many others for making this event a success. On behalf of ICRISAT and ICRISAT Center of Excellence for South-South Cooperation, the ISCA, thank you all 500 plus participants across the time zones Your presence and engagement reflect the spirit of solidarity and shared purpose for South Corporation stands for. Today's discussion illuminated not only the opportunities ahead, but also the shared responsibility we bear in building resilient, inclusive, and sustainable food system. With that, we conclude the enriching webinar. Thank you all once again. We look forward for continuous collaboration in advancing a scalable agricultural solution. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, friends and colleagues.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody. Stay in touch.
Bye.
Have a good
Thank you.
weekend. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.